Ooh. This is the special Halloween edition
podcast.
Today is April 19th.
Almost 420 for all you weed people out there.
For all you weed heads out there.
All you green goblins.
All you people who are fans of the Green Goblin from
all
Spider-Man.
you people who smoke cannabis / grow it.
The title of this episode is Frankie Baseball. What was it called?
Teardrop.
Frankie Teardrop.
Frankie Teardrop.
Okay, so you were saying that sometimes people laugh at stuff that you say and you don't deserve it.
Yeah, they do. It hasn't happened to me in a while, but when it does happen, that's almost more awkward, I think, than someone not laughing at your stuff. Because, at least for me, it makes me question, like, what is even funny anymore? What is...
Not me. Certainly not me.
Not me. I say things that make people laugh that I don't mean is funny, so what I say is supposed to be funny isn't funny. You follow me?
Yeah. Well, I think you're like a visual gag. Like,
yeah,
I think when people just see you, they
I
laugh.
can play off that too. I've realized that visualness.
I think, but like when you say stuff that's just cavalier, like like in class, I think people just react to it. They just think it's funny because I mean, for the most part, I mean, I'm fully aware that you're a vulgar person, just like anybody else. But like, I think some people just see you as really modest in some ways. Like,
your sense of humor is a bit more. First of all, I don't think people get it a lot of the time. I don't know if it's just because they're not aware that it's a joke or.
Yeah, that happens constantly. I definitely made a joke that I thought was gonna land at some point recently. Like, I was in a room full of... Okay, we were just in a room full of people I didn't really know. But there was a previous point in this week where I was in a room full of people that I didn't really know. Oh, I guess today. This morning.
Okay, maybe we should cut that out.
I said that as a joke. It's like...
See, that's funny.
Well, because the show is supposed to be called that.
Oh,
so it's like,
okay.
Anyway.
But they know that they're...
Oh, yeah, no, they know. They're being self-aware about it, but it's like...
Even though one of them is Jewish.
They don't call it that. It's just... It's weird when you say it out loud. I think... Well, like... So, yeah, I was going to say, though, I walked into the room and made that, like... I mean, it was a joke, but it wasn't like a fucking banger or anything. It was just like... I was like... it's funny how you didn't... I said, I don't know this building... What room are you guys in? And then you just responded with the name of the building.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that was helpful. And then everybody's and then they laughed.
Okay.
And then I was just kind of like, all right, well, that's
So they're laughing at you just saying that was helpful. Like that was the joke.
I don't think I said that though.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I mean, I don't remember how I said it, how the delivery was.
Because that would make more sense why they would laugh. Because they seem like they have that sense.
That was
helpful. Like they seem like they have that
sense
of humor.
Well, and then I was wearing my hoodie that says Achiever on the front, and then somebody said, are you an Achiever? Which, real original. But, and I said, it's supposed to be ironic. And then again, everybody laughed.
Oh my god, you're like King Salami.
I'm the king of comedy.
That's crazy.
And I mean, it slowed down after a while. I think I wore out my welcome, but
were you keep going with trying to?
No, it wasn't like that. It was just, I mean, maybe a little bit, but like it wasn't like that fully. Maybe one time I said something that didn't land, and which is much more painful after you've already impressed everybody. But like, I don't know. It was just a weird feeling, but it made me feel like, man, there is just never going to be a time where I'm just like, these are my people. It's just never going to happen. Like,
with these guys?
No, I'm just saying, in life, in general, I'm never going to walk into a room of people and just be like, these are my people.
Dude, that's so funny you say that. I don't know if I feel the same way, but I've thought, like, I don't think I have yet in my life, because people have said that before, where they're like, they say, like, once I walked into this room, or once I saw what was going on, like, this is where I belong.
Yeah.
I've never.
The day I finally walked into Buffalo Wild Wings, I was like, I'm home.
I walked into Hooters.
And then Talking Heads, This Must Be the Place started playing. That's how fucking good I felt walking into B-Dubs.
The only thing I can get close to is getting into an art school type of thing. That was me. I didn't it wasn't like a love at first sight or anything, but that was the first time where it's like, okay, these teachers I can just talk shit to and fuck you or just whatever.
Yeah, I've felt 100% more comfortable with the art school.
So maybe that's the equivalent of that.
Yeah, well, but I still don't always feel totally fitting in because I'm not 100% there.
Yeah, you're at half.
I don't. I didn't really know a lot of art history or anything until recently, and I didn't I still don't appreciate sculpture, so don't come at me with that shit. But I don't know, people, it's just I never feel 100%. Man, I just relate to everybody here, and it's gonna be real positive or anything. Because there are still especially artists, because artists are by nature hard to crack. For the most part.
Especially painters. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just that. But, I prefer that people feel, surprised.
Oh.
I feel, when I show the video, I want people to be like, oh, look at this guy. He's kind of weird and messed up. He's kind of weird. Dan. He's got a screw loose.
He likes to kill people.
Yeah, he's probably got some issues. I like that. No, I just feel I want to surprise people a little bit, but, yeah, it just felt like people were like, I don't know who you are, but this isn't what we do here. It was we do stuff about, the police breaking into your house and...
That was so... Well,
there have been 5 of these projects where the characters have smoked weed in the video.
I heard you talking to Andrew. The guy
what the fuck was that?
Why is that?
Who cares?
Is weed supposed to be an edgy
thing? I think they're trying to be edgy, but they're one step behind.
Is alcohol not the cool thing to do anymore?
Well, that was just assumed, I guess.
Maybe yeah. But movies like Animal House where alcohol that's
I really hate the Animal House image of college.
Any image of college in movies is off. Same in high school.
Well, I think there are, for some people, they force their lives into that round hole of the Animal House image, but I can only imagine how that is. Yeah, but
they have to fit into this image of
actually, you know what? College is more like that scene from Boyhood at the very end when
he takes mushrooms and goes.
And he goes out of the.
Yeah, man.
That's what it's
take mushrooms every day.
No, I was saying the scene where he walks into his dorm and the guy immediately is just like, "Hey, what's up? Want to go take drugs?" It's that's what this is like.
Is that what happened? So you were in the dorms freshman year, right?
Yeah.
What happened the first day you moved into the dorms?
The first day?
And you had a roommate and stuff.
Okay, I have a story that'll make me seem like a total loser, but I think it's funny enough to justify. At the time, I remember in senior year of high school, I was really into buying T-shirts online because I had a credit card starting when I was 17, and I just and this was the point where I was like, wow, I can buy shit online. So I bought a lot of T-shirts, and because this is also the time when I was really getting into T-shirts. Movies and stuff like that, so it's I really wanted to get a shirt that had a 2001: A Space Odyssey on it or something.
Oh, okay.
So I had a lot of shirts like that, and then there's also this website called $6 Shirts. You ever been on there?
No. That's funny.
It might be a brief laugh for you if you go on there. It's a good place for Christmas presents because it's $6 and you can get them
That's not where you design the shirts.
No, they just have a long list of shirts and they're all $6.
That's pretty cool.
They do not sponsor us, so
$6 shirts.
$6 shirts. Look how I'm plugging your shit.
Don't spend $6 on a toothbrush or
no, don't do the ad yet. They have to pay us before we start really.
Oh, okay.
So that's just a warning for you. They're $6, but
no T-shirts come out of Triplefour.
Throw us some shirts. Let's talk about it. Is not the title.
No, I said Triplefour. Let's talk about it.
This episode's called Frankie Teardrop.
No, that's the name of the show.
Triplefour podcast. Let's talk about it. Episode 2. Anyway, I should finish the story.
Yeah, sorry.
So I had a lot of these shirts, and a lot of them are really stupid. Like a lot of them are really stupid. Other than, I had my 2001 or my Full Metal Jacket.
Shirts?
No, I would never wear a shirt that had anything that said weed on it or. If you wear a Bob Marley shirt, you're scum. Yeah, if you wear a Bob Marley shirt, you're just scum. Get on. But
a Ziggy Marley shirt, that's cool.
If we wear a Ziggy Marley shirt, I'm gonna be like, whoa, that's
cool.
Weird and subversive. But I don't remember what it said, but I had one that was some real corny line on it. I don't remember what it was. It was something like it had a pizza on it or something. I don't know. Something I would never wear now, probably, unless it was free and I could turn it inside out and still make use of it or something. But and I was like, I'm kind of a shirt guy. That's something I said to my roommate on the first day. I was like,
before you even said anything else to him?
No, his mom was in the room, and this is the first 20 minutes of being in the dorm. I'm kind of a shirt guy. I like shirts. I was like, and it's just in hindsight, I'm like, oh, brother.
Do you remember how he reacted? Or?
They gave me the, they gave me the fake laugh. But
my favorite T-shirt I've ever owned that my mom wears now to the Y, it has the Cookie Monster on it, and then there's a cityscape behind him, and then
it says I'm from the street.
No, it says Street Life.
Okay, that's the kind of shit that would be on $6 shirts.
Yeah. I also had a shirt that had a giraffe with glasses, and then there was clouds around, and it said,
"Too cool."
No, what the fuck did it say? It's
I'm high.
It said something. It was some high joke.
I'm high. That's what it said.
I'm high in the clouds, or I'm too high.
Somebody make a design of that. It's a giraffe wearing sunglasses, and it says "I'm high." That's the T-shirt.
It's the full-on giraffe in the clouds.
Well, it's just big bold letters. I'm high. It's cutting the bullshit. It's no, I don't have to put a weed leaf on my shirt. I don't have to do anything like that. I'm high. Period.
Officer, I'm high. That's my shirt.
Officer, let me off with a warning, please.
Those are some good T-shirts.
These are great shirts.
$2 shirts. It's a new business line that we're going to do.
$2 shirts.
$2 shirts.
There's no way we could profit on that.
We made $2. We actually wouldn't even make that after tax.
Those T-shirts must be... The $6 shirts model must be really good because I bet they just print a shit ton of all these things. And what they do is... If it, the more popular it is, it, rises up the list, and the, less popular it is, and then when it hits the bottom, it's gone.
Forever?
Yeah, forever. Whoa. You got really into the 80s, no one ever saw him again. But,
that's sad, guys.
This is something I didn't even tell you. I put up a teaser for the meeting people, actually. I made a 30-second one.
You didn't even tell me.
I didn't even tell you until just now. But
did you make a trailer? Is that what it is?
It's a teaser. It's 30 seconds. There's no dialogue, and it's just music. And it says meeting people coming soon.
Is there footage of me or any character?
You're the main character.
Oh, okay.
You're
what part is it? I guess you can't say.
You just watch it. You'll find out. What? Give me a breakdown, second by second.
I won't watch it.
So there's that.
Okay. Let's. Okay. The weird thing about Windows.
This is great improv. Really good. Really good stuff.
I looked at that window.
You see, the thing about
Windows is
podcasts. It's just what's
think
in
about
front
this.
of me.
Think about this. When blinds are folded, people can look into your window, but you can't look out your window. So it's people are looking
when they're like this, when they're at an angle.
Yeah, or no, when they're just completely closed, you can't look out the window, but someone can look in your window. That doesn't make any sense.
They're looking in and they're seeing blinds. They're seeing the back of blinds.
Yeah, they're seeing the inside of our apartment, but we can't look outside at them.
Well, during the daytime, the sun prevents people from seeing in, even if the blinds are open.
Really?
Yeah, if it just looks black because
the
light. But that's interesting because then you can just be totally nude and just look right out the window.
Sometimes I like to have the blinds open, especially in the morning. It's nice. And then when I take a shower, I walk out of the shower nude, and I have to do a quick look out the window to see if anyone's there, and then I like do a big hop.
I do that
into
too.
my bedroom just
because
in case.
you wake up first, and you come out here and you open up all of the blinds, and then I wake up, and our house is simply, it's just all for the taking. Everybody can look,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, well, now I gotta like do this whole shower thing.
I want people to look at our environment.
Well, they can't see us, so.
No, I can't because of the sun. Maybe we should just get rid of the sun.
I'm starting to think that the things that we claim to understand about the sun aren't necessarily all true.
Well, for one thing, the sun is blue.
Yeah.
So
That's something we have to start talking about.
Why does no one talk about
Why
that?
is no one talking about it?
The sun's
Get it
blue.
out in the open. Finally, a cause I can get behind.
This is what this podcast can be.
The sun is blue.
The sun is blue.
I was trying to make a joke about how like it's been freezing and sunny and windy and then also
It's
hot
been epic.
in the past like 4 days.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, okay, so just beyond global warming because that's happening, but it's like there's also global cooling apparently because we just keep getting into this whole
There's a
it keeps getting cold all the
yeah.
fucking time. So I'm like, let's start rethinking the way that we talk about the sun. Because
How should we talk about it?
well, A, it's blue. That's one thing we established. But also that anything can happen. As far as weather is concerned, anything can happen.
Yeah, why try to predict it?
Yeah. All you meteorologists, you're out of a job.
You guys suck. I'm gonna put that out there. Meteorologists don't do a good job. Because anything can happen.
Anything can happen when I'm holding a hammer.
Maybe, especially Maxwell Silverhammer.
I'm holding
when
a
I'm
hammer.
holding my hammer. Yeah.
Anything can happen.
That was
Anyway, that was
a dick joke.
that was all of it. That was facetious. I don't really think that there's a flaw in the science of analyzing
Of the sun.
the sun. It is blue though.
It is pretty mystical how meteorologists even do their shit.
Well, it's like when you're a kid, you're like, you think that the meteorologist is basically God because he can predict the future.
He kind of still is.
But no, now I'm like, fuck you, you don't know anything. You're talking about it's gonna rain this day, it's gonna snow that day, and then it doesn't, and I'm like, you're wrong.
We rely on them so much, though. Not us personally, but like a lot of like scheduling. Like people schedule things around the weather sometimes, and it's
So they hold all the power.
yeah, especially for conversations. How many fucking times you're like, oh, it's supposed to be sunny on Saturday.
Holy shit.
Meteorologists create conversations, dude.
So they drive all discourse on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
They are the ones pulling the strings in the United States government.
Not the
meteorologists.
Pope, not Donald
If
Trump.
they wanted to, you said people make plans around the weather. So it's
Yeah.
like if they wanted to, okay, hypothetical situation.
Yeah.
Donnie T is gonna he's gonna talk to Vladdy P, and they're gonna talk about how the war is gonna start. And so the meteorologists are like, they're like, okay, let's tell them it's gonna snow everywhere, and then they won't. They'll have to change their plans, and then maybe they won't start the war because of us.
Meteorologists can
Save the world.
save the world.
So
We gotta get
that's
this
a
out
conspiracy that I'd like to pursue.
Yeah.
I've been looking for a good conspiracy to latch onto, and I feel like this could be the one.
I think the next conspiracy that we should latch on to is how candles work. I'm just gonna start pointing that shit.
Oh, actually, I had my other conspiracy that I really wanted to get out there into the world is that the band Chicago is actually a government plant, and there's coded messages in their music. That's why they changed so much over the course of their career, because the government would be like, okay, now you need to be more like a soft rock group, because we want you to play these songs about you're my inspiration and stuff, but like that was really about the Cold War and Reagan.
I'm kind of with you on that, but I don't even think they need the government. I feel like they just do it on their own.
We're just creating propaganda regardless.
Yeah,
like the government did.
What do they
Maybe
want
at the
from
beginning.
us?
At the beginning, it was the government, and then they went off the chain.
Yeah, they went too far, and the government's like, we can't.
And that's the point they became Chicago, because they were just Chicago
Oh,
Transit
yeah.
Authority. That's like maybe that's a government related.
CTS.
CTA.
CT.
What was
A,
the S from?
CTA.
Where did the S come
I
from?
don't know. Where did that come from?
It could be that the government. I don't know if the CTA is related.
That sounds like
it's a government thing.
official thing.
Transportation. It might be. Public transportation. That's government, right?
PTA?
PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson. PTA meets CTA. Paul Thomas Anderson directs Chicago's Triumphant Return.
Oh. That's
No,
CTR.
that would
Chicago's Triumphant Return.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
What?
That's CCR.
Oh.
Anyway, so Chicago, they started as a plant, but then they just they're like, we're gonna write whatever we want, and then the government was like, okay, but people are gonna suspect that you're a government plant because you keep changing your sound to deliver coded messages in your music. So, I think this is what's going on with Chicago, because there's no reason they should be popular. They had a number.
Honestly, I don't think they are popular.
They had a #1 singles. Okay, the Chicago 19, the one with that weird MS Paint Vaporwave album. No, that was from the late 80s.
Oh.
They put out Chicago 19 by the late 80s. That's how fast they moved. That's how much shitty music they put
19 albums. Maybe more because they... Right?
Yeah, 19 albums including live albums and greatest hits compilations.
Wow.
By the late 80s. So they're on Chicago 25 or some shit now. But that one, the one that has the vaporwave kind of cover, there's a #1 single on that, and that's after Peter Cetera left. So it's
well, they were popular. I'm saying they're not popular now. Maybe with
they're popular with old heads.
What? That's so surprising. Chicago's such a weird.
Such a bad band.
Yeah, they're not that good. Maybe they just have a niche following. And
but they show up in numbers.
Yeah, but it's such a big niche following.
I like niche. That's kind of fun to say. Nietzsche.
Today.
Nietzsche.
I learned stuff about Lakota Indians today.
Dakota or Lakota?
Lakota Indians.
Lakota, okay.
They do these things called sweat lodges, where they sit in it's like a bowl thing. 140 degrees though.
Yeah, that's in Lost. See, if you'd seen Lost, you'd know.
Why is that in Lost?
Because John Locke, he's a magical bald man.
Okay.
And he says, "Check this out, sweat lodge," and then they do it. And then he has visions. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds kind of cool.
That's actually in the first season.
I can't believe that's on a TV show. So what do they do it for a specific purpose? Do they want to have visions?
I don't remember exactly what the plot line was, but it had something to do with... That show's kind of about the duality of faith and science and, stuff like that. So it's the idea was that
sounds intellectual.
John Locke is... I'm just going to explain Lost a little bit for you.
The whole thing?
I could explain the whole thing, and that would be fun. But I'll just explain the part of the opening of Lost.
Okay.
There's a character who is in a wheelchair because he was hit by a car, and he hated his life. And then in the plane crash, when he hit the island, his legs were fixed, and he could walk again.
What?
Yeah.
Magically fixed?
Yeah. So...
From crashing?
Is it from crashing, or is it because of... the island.
Oh, so is the island supposed to be magical or something?
I don't know. You have to watch it. But anyway, so it's kind of about he's pushed into this faith thing.
Oh.
So okay. He's he believes in the island and he thinks the island has will and but to everybody else or the main character arguably is Jack and he's a doctor and he's science. And it's kind of a...
Where does the science thing come into play, though?
He's you can't just believe in the island. Not real. There's a scientific explanation for stuff. Kind of.
Oh.
He doesn't really, say that. He's not a scientist. He's a surgeon. But,
Huh. That's interesting.
But that is a major theme for the whole show.
Faith and science.
Yeah. But, faith and science is, indicators of, belief and logic. Or, shit like that.
Man, that's a cool idea for a TV show. When did that TV
that wasn't the idea of the show. I mean, unless you're talking just about a magical island.
So that's the basis of the show. There's this magical island that they're lost on.
Yeah. So that's what I feel like. I used to be way more into this, but I don't like. I haven't watched Lost in a while, but it used to be one of my. I used to say it was my favorite show,
Yeah.
and I felt like I would constantly encounter people who had watched it, and I would be like, we'd be talking about like, I'd be like, so yeah, what'd you think? And they were like, great, loved it. That ending was terrible though, and like for me, I'm like, okay, you're dumb because you didn't watch the show, because or at least because I feel like I'm assuming something about. You can not like the ending of the show, but it's like there are people who say that things weren't explained or XYZ or like like oh they didn't plan everything ahead and it's like yeah it's I don't know it's not real. So yeah, they had to make it up. Like I don't know. It's like so like my issue though is like everything in that show can be summed up with it's a magical island. Period. So we're like, why did this happen? It's a magical island. Yeah, but why did this guy do the magical island? It's just like...
Do people forget that it's a magical island halfway through or something?
I guess, because, like, things get really crazy and, like really fantastical, and then people... I'm like, did you not notice when...
Oh, so it becomes
in the
first...
In the second... It is a sci-fi TV show,
oh,
kind of.
Okay.
But, like, in the second episode, there's a polar bear on the island. It's like that you didn't, like... that didn't put you in the magical island mentality, or like,
or his legs get fixed.
There's monsters and things. Yeah, I mean, well, the legs thing is kind of interesting because it is it questions like it kind of proposes a question to you as a viewer. It's like, is it because the island is magical and it wanted him to walk again and it gave him that chance, or is it because the plane his body is knocked back into place by physical forces?
Oh,
it's like it proposes that question to you.
So that maybe kind of leads you to think like, is this a magical island or not a magical island? But then the whole polar bear thing.
It's a magical island. You can't watch the show and not think it's a magical island.
So does the ending have to do with like people not realizing it's a magical island?
The ending has to do with, yeah. I mean, that's more like people are like, well, who was the person doing this, or like, why is there these rules? And there are some of those things where I'm like, yeah, it is dumb. That shouldn't be in the show. It's overcomplicated.
Yeah.
But, but it's a magical island is the answer to all of those questions. And also, yeah, people didn't understand the ending. I've talked to people.
Yeah.
Like, and I sound like some like butthurt fanboy or something, but it's like I swear to God, people genuinely just didn't put two and two together. Like. It would take a really long time to actually explain the ending, and people are like, I could tell you what the ending is, and I'm like, really? Are you going to give me like the 20-minute explanation? Because it's really complex. And they're like, they were dead the whole time. And I'm like, no. Wrong. Just objectively wrong.
They think the characters were dead the whole show?
Yeah, that's just objectively wrong. Like, it is...
I kind of want to watch it.
Because is that what you've heard about the show?
No, I haven't heard anything. I just wish I had more to put in this conversation.
Yeah.
So I haven't heard.
Well, I
guess. We
have
to talk around the.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, but like, yeah, but like, it was a lot of that, and like, there's like, it's almost like there is a scene where somebody is like, "Are we dead the whole time?" and someone else goes, "No."
Oh, it's like an Evan
it's like well, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to spoil it because it's a really great show and you should watch it, but. It is also really long. It's like 200-something episodes.
200?
Maybe it's not 200, but it's...
Well, how many seasons is it?
6 seasons.
And like 20 episodes a season.
Yeah, and they're 40-minute episodes.
Oh, okay.
But there are some episodes of that show that are like greatest TV moments for me. Like, but
it blows my mind how anyone can make 20 episodes of something.
Yeah. Well, there's filler episodes, and also, but like this. There is like the 5th season of Lost is like a season that they didn't anticipate to have to write. Like, because...
They thought they were going to end at 4?
They thought they were going to end at 5.
Oh.
And so, but the studio was like, you should do another season. And so season 5 is kind of like not as good. Because it's like something they didn't anticipate to write.
Oh, so season 6 was the season they planned to do.
Yeah, so season 6, the final season, is like stuff that they were going to do.
And season 5 is kind of like a filler season.
Yeah, it's kind of filler. It's an entire filler season. I mean, it still relates to the other stuff, but it's like...
Oh, so it's still necessary probably to watch
there are parts that are really important, but it's like... There are things that I'm like, I don't need to see this. But
That's a TV shows to me. I've already said this before. Just like I can't. It's so much to keep up with. I want to watch other things. Like I don't want to watch.
I think once you get into the TV zone, though, you're gonna be like, okay, I'm ready. Because once you really get hooked, dude, if you start watching Lost, you're gonna get hooked.
Maybe
because
in Twin Peaks, I got like. That one was that's a show that I got.
I was hooked on Twin Peaks until I got like halfway through season 2, and I was like, okay, where are we going?
See,
so I was like, and then I was like drudging through the end of it.
You were drudging?
When I, it was like
really hated that.
I haven't watched we were rewatching it back in the day when back in the 90s. That wasn't that long ago. That was like
no, it was only
like 8 months ago.
Yeah, it was
but like back in the day. But like yeah, we were watching season 2 episodes and I was like, I just can't handle it. It's so dumb. Like all the things I like are not really present in it. So
I think I like it because it's Twin Peaks. And anything that would happen.
I think the original Twin Peaks is a flawed show. I think
flawed?
Yeah,
Why do you think it's flawed?
David Lynch is one of my favorite directors. I'll put that on record. I love everything he does. Twin Peaks is a flawed show. Like, there are parts of it that I love, but like there are some things where I'm like, this is stupid. Like I like the Mark Frost stuff, I guess. Like the soap opera parts of it. Like the parts that feel more genuine than they are silly. Like there are like Josie as a character, totally could do without. Like I just don't care. Or like just James as a character. Don't like James really. I don't like anything that James does.
Okay.
I don't like that basically once you go into it, it's just like everybody is in an affair with each other. And like I don't like that stuff. But what I like is like Black Lodge and I like the mysticism and like I like the little dialogue things.
That's interesting you say because the whole newest season
it's all weird shit.
It doesn't have any of that.
Yeah, so that's why I love the 3rd season because I'm like this is like all the parts of Twin Peaks that I really liked blown up.
You make an interesting point about the 1st season, but I think that's part of the reason why I like it because it's such a it's like it seems like it should be like that classic like just drama TV like soap opera type thing, but it's so weird. That's why it turns it on its head.
Yeah, well, I think what David Lynch was doing was he was making basically what Twin Peaks season 3 was, but just like dressed up as if it were a regular. It was like it's in a disguise.
Uh-huh.
It's like a show dressed up in a disguise amongst the other primetime TV shows of the early 90s. And it's like, slip it in between ER and whatever. And you're just kind of like, wait a second, what's going on here? This is too weird. Because like you get into like the 3rd episode, the end of the 3rd episode of Twin Peaks is like when Bob is like crawling out to the TV and like they do the whole like Fire Walk With Me poem and stuff. I remember seeing that and I was like, whoa, what's going on? And then I was like, okay, now I gotta watch. And I was like ready to go.
Have you ever known anyone who saw it in the 90s when it was on?
I asked like, my dad and he said like, I remember it being on. I didn't watch it though.
Damn.
My dad my parents watched X-Files when it was on.
I think my parents did too. I just would love to talk to someone who was actually in the 90s and like was watching TV just to see like.
It was a big hit, so there's have to be people out there.
Yeah, I would be wondering what would be going through because nowadays it's a bit different because we've seen a lot of like weird shit. We're kind of used to stuff, and also I guess we watched on Netflix. It's not like something we watched on TV.
Yeah, Netflix really gave Twin Peaks the boost it needed to be like back in the zeitgeist. That I think was what allowed it to have a third season. Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Netflix has done that for so many things. It's like because I watched reruns.
It did with Blade Runner, kinda.
But Blade Runner wasn't on Netflix.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
Oh, never
mind. I think that was more of like a Harrison Ford comeback thing because Harrison Ford had done Star Wars too, and then it was like.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, Harrison Ford's he can still act, I guess.
Yeah.
So they were like, make Blade Runner. That's fine now. We're good with it now. But The Office. The Office is like, I can't think of any, like, dude, that must be the most popular show in a long time. I see Office shit every single day when I go on Facebook. I see people reposting, like, clips from The Office. Really? Memes and stuff with Office characters. And I'm just like,
I think that's
Wow.
in. That's like it's like almost a.
It's been
fashion.
in for like 3 years though. Like we're like memeing Office stuff, and I'm just like, dude, how has everybody not gotten tired of this already? Like, fuck.
I don't think. What has there been any other TV shows that could outdo it? That are on
Friends coming onto Netflix also
What?
like really like people were like, whoa, Friends.
Oh, the
And
original
started talking about Friends again after Friends showed up.
The original Friends.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought they made a new one.
TV's The Friends.
Yeah, I never got into Friends. Like that show never really.
It is like the most
me.
generic sitcom I can think of. Like every time, like I'm totally fine with it being on the TV, but it's like the life of the room kind of. You know, it's like it's not really about me watching. It's just like there's something on TV, so I don't feel alone. That's what Friends is. That's what.
Have you
Friends
know
is.
people who just love Friends?
Yeah, I guess. I don't really.
I don't think I've.
I saw somebody post a Facebook status about Friends literally today or yesterday. So
What about? Just how funny it was.
It just.
It's so funny.
Dude, Friends, gotta check this shit out, dude. It's so good. No, it was just, it said something like, Phoebe should have ended up with David or something. I don't know.
Oh.
It was like.
Did you know the show, oh, damn it. It just escaped me. That's where it's two, Will and Grace.
I never watched it.
Oh, I've watched a few episodes, but that show I think was like.
That show came back. They like are making episodes of that.
With different people though, right?
No, same people.
Same people?
Yeah.
Wow. That'd be kind of interesting to see what that's.
Dude, they better not. I don't think it's gonna happen, but they better not bring back Seinfeld in any capacity.
Oh, they won't.
It would ruin it. So
that's why they have Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's kind of like.
Yeah, that's kind of like Neufeld.
You know what's weird? My dad loves Curb Your Enthusiasm and Seinfeld, but like, he has such a weird sense of humor. Like, he doesn't laugh at much. Like, he doesn't watch like he's into like those shows where they work on cars or something, or like Ice Road Truckers.
Yeah.
And he doesn't watch any comedy stuff except Seinfeld or Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Huh.
It's such a strange reality. Curb Your Enthusiasm, though, did this joke, which was... There's another one of those times where I'm like, this is kind of edgy. It was a Muslim type of joke, because Larry's Jewish.
Right.
And then there's this Muslim guy that he let cut in front of him in line or something to get more food. And the whole bit was this Muslim guy was there to kill Larry. Like, he was on some list. Like, some Jew list that they had that they were going to kill him. But then at the end of the show, it got to, like, this Muslim guy brought Larry to this, like, Muslim council that made up this list. And
since he let him in line, they were like, he doesn't deserve to die.
Yeah, and then they were discussing why this Jew shouldn't die. And let him off. It was super edgy, though.
Yeah.
I can't remember what made it so...
Probably
Maybe it was because of the Muslim thing, and they were doing a lot of, like, Muslim jokes and Jew jokes.
Literally today, I saw a meme, or no, maybe, I guess, I don't know if it counts as a meme, but I saw a tweet that had another tweet, and then there was a picture of this tweet and the reply tweet, which is kind of a meme, because it's a picture being shared, but it was just a picture of a tweet and somebody's response to the tweet. It said something to do like, the tweet was, it said, this Palestinian ice cream store is so delicious that these Israelis are sneaking into Palestine to get some. And then the reply said, all Palestinians are people who have snuck out of Israel, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, genuinely lost.
Yeah.
That joke was lost on me, and so I was like trying to just read about the Israeli-Palestine conflict, and it's just impenetrable. Like if you just go on Wikipedia and look it up.
Palestine come from Israel? I thought I came from India.
I'm not the person to tell you because I don't know.
That's what I was confused about that joke.
I've always been so.
First of all, it's not really a joke. It just kind of sounds
well,
like
it was just. I think it was a joke
somebody.
being like. Well, when you think about it, it's kind of like they are, or like, it's like that. But it's like,
also Palestinian
I don't know.
ice
It's
cream
really
restaurant?
just really conflicting.
I've never
confusing.
heard of a Palestinian ice cream restaurant.
Well,
That
it's
sounds
super
awesome.
good, apparently.
Yeah, or this guy, even though he's an asshole, doesn't know that Palestine's coming.
No, this was real. Well, I was just confused. That was the end of the story. I was like, I just don't know anything about that, and I really wish I did, but no one will explain it to me in terms that I'll understand. I can't.
Well, you don't know any Palestine.
Well, I understand that it's probably has something to do with it being, Holy Land and people fighting over it, and probably the fact that Israel was created by countries and people probably were forced out of that land. That's probably what it's
I just thought they came from India. I didn't think they came from Israel.
Palestinians?
Yeah, I thought Palestine was connected to India. I think this is the story. I feel like Palestine was with India and they were one big thing, and then they split because of cows. There was a cow war because India was mainly Hindu, and they don't eat cows, and Palestine's ate cows.
Ah. So there was a cow war.
I'm like being like this guy who was Lebanese told me this thing one time.
Okay.
Doesn't matter that he's Lebanese, I guess, because it doesn't relate to Palestine or India. But
Lebanon was involved with the conflict at one point.
Oh, okay, maybe that's how he knew. Yeah. But when he told me, my mom was like, "Yeah, you didn't know that?" I'm like, "How the fuck did you know that? Like, the cow war? Who would have known?"
So anyway, if you're looking for opinions on these politics, don't come to us.
Nope. But I know something about cows.
Sounds like it's real complicated and unfortunate for many people.
We're just white suburban men. We know a thing or two about Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Yeah, what can you tell me about that?
Cherry Garcia.
There is a flavor called Cherry Garcia. That's the one thing I know. Okay, also, I found out, because remember how I was telling you about Cherry Garcia ties?
Oh, yeah.
Turns out he didn't, make those. He was a visual... He did, paintings and drawings sometimes.
Oh, okay.
And somebody just kind of, they were like, hey, these look good. These could be a tie. And he was probably like, all right. And then they made them. But they only made them for a little while. So, and I have one. It might be kind of rare.
It probably is. Wow. Did he wear ties a lot? Do you know?
No, I doubt.
Why would
he is the exact opposite of a tie.
Yeah, he just seemed like he wore t-shirts all the time with nothing on them.
It's like the last guy to wear a tie is the guy with the tie company. So it's like.
Oh yeah, that was the joke.
Yeah. But you don't see these big business guys designing, Baja hoodies,
Or what's another?
Ooh, okay. So imagine a room full of hippies wearing suits and big corporation guys wearing Baja hoodies. That would be word of the day. Carnivalesque.
That's carnivalesque?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I don't
because it's the mixing of high and low class cultures.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
So pop art's kind of carnivalesque. If it's that definition.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that because I wouldn't feel confident enough in that. So
I just think carnivalesque is Fellini's carnivalesque, right?
Yes, but I wish he was more because everybody's like, dude, Fellini's movies are so crazy. There's so much stuff going on, and then you watch them and they're like, yeah, it's some people.
Yeah.
They're clowns sometimes.
The thing, I've watched I don't know if this is just I've watched interviews with Jim Jarmusch or Jarmusch, and he's this guy's such a film head, and he talks about he was talking about Fellini.
I'm kind of a shirt guy.
And just
Jim Jarmusch
raving on it, all these directors where I've seen some of the movies, and just but I feel like people who are so into film, they can see this stuff and just completely love it. Part of me wants to love it.
It's
and it's just not happening.
Okay, so the one element that always escapes me is there's these people who well, I think for some people just being told that X movie is a good movie can just trigger that thing in their head.
I definitely.
But I think also one thing I see a lot is people being okay, here's this random movie from 1946, but it's cool because it has Fred Astaire in it, and it's Fred Astaire doing a character he might not usually play. And that's just enough for them. It's just look at this little tidbit. And I'm like, yeah, but is the movie like fun to watch? Like,
Yeah.
and I just like can't like. But I can see that argument a little bit with like, like I will see a Keanu Reeves movie because Keanu Reeves is in it, maybe because like he's just kind of an interesting guy, or Nick Cage. Not all Nick Cage movies, but like if there was a decent one and it used him, I might see it just for him.
What about like what's that one where he was like a motorcycle guy?
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Dude, Ghost Rider. I like Ghost Rider.
I don't remember if I watched it as a kid. So.
Ghost Rider, another song by Suicide.
Oh, does it go like Ghost Rider?
Also, the song I used in the trailer for the Mean People thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna make a New Order song for that movie? Like a New Order-y type of song? Keep that song?
I want to, but
okay. Because I don't know. Did you say?
If you want to help me do it, then we should do it. But
yeah, I can help you with it.
I think I want to show it with the New Order song on it because I just like the song.
I was just gonna say, did you put at the end the credits like there's a song? I know.
No, I didn't credit New Order.
Yeah.
I kind of figure like whatever.
But
who cares?
But you credited the and.
I credit the and because they deserve credit.
New Order deserves credit.
I know, but like people know who New Order is. Like people don't know who the and is.
Oh, that's your train of thought.
Yeah, so I'm letting people know about the and. But, New Order, they got their own. And then, I was going to say, because I remember something I said on the last podcast about how this is the kind of shit I think about. I always think like, here's something dumb I said, I need to fix that. Last time I said that I didn't like Quentin Tarantino because he makes it about himself, but I like Kanye West because he makes his art about himself. Mm-hmm. Quentin Tarantino is not a cool person. He's a nerd. That's why it's not cool for him to make his art about himself. Just a little clarification. Yeah, because he's a fucking nerd. He's like, I like films. I'm like, who fucking cares? Because
people who like films care.
I like films. So, boom.
Not like Quentin.
Yeah, no, not like Quentin, because he's just like, I saw this B movie, he pushes up glasses.
He has glasses?
No, but
yeah, I don't think so.
I imagine he did. He would push him up, because he's a nerd. The worst thing that he did was he said, this is a fucking quote I always see, and he said, I didn't go to film school, I went to films. And I'm just like, fuck you. Like,
real beef.
Fuck you, man. Just for like, he's like, I'm so naturally imbued with talent that you all fucking suck for going to school for this,
I don't think
dumbass.
He means that.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what he means. He's always been this guy who's like, nah, film school's for dummies. Just go make something. And I'm like, yeah, that's one thing,
yeah,
but it's like
that's honestly wrong though, because there's plenty of people who've made really awesome movies through film school.
Yeah, of course. It's different for everybody. Yeah. But like, I feel like there's a like. The same PTA said something like that too about like how he quit film school because they took things too seriously or something.
Oh.
I mean, that's how I feel a little bit. I think they take things too seriously, but I also feel like I don't know. Like
I just don't think people, even if you're that high up, really should give that type of advice, because then it might get people who might be really bad at making stuff thinking like, oh, I can quit this place and just go and make something on my own.
Yeah.
See, everyone's different. Everyone needs a different thing in their life.
Right.
And they might not even like films.
See, is this a discussion for art students to go to art school or not?
Yeah.
Because
it's even more so for art students, I feel like. Film students, I feel like more so they should go to film school because more technical type stuff.
Yeah. And it's about
art students, it's a little different because a lot of the times you don't need as much technical stuff and you can learn things on your own. The one really good thing about art school, and part of the reason why I go, is because of the people you meet and the type of connections you can make that you couldn't make if you didn't go. But if you tried really hard and made a real effort, you could probably still make some good connections without going.
Yeah, I think if you're some kid out in Toadsuck, Missouri, and then you hear Quentin Tarantino be like, I went to films. I'm just like, you're giving that kid the wrong idea. Like, there's no way.
But he might fail either way, that type of guy.
Well, yeah, he might fail either way, but it's like, you can say that about everybody, but it's like, if you live in the middle of nowhere, you simply won't make it. Like, unless you can somehow make a masterpiece that is appreciated at Sundance and stuff. Which is like, that's something I keep saying. It's like, Just because this is the thing I'm thinking about now is like film festivals and how I take the next step and stuff. But it's like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make something that they'll play at Sundance, because Sundance is at this point just like for highly financed indie films. And I feel like there's a lot of that going on, and it's like, where are the festivals that are playing like actually underground shit?
Yeah, well,
it's like you can't make underground shit and be recognized. It's like you either have to make something high budget and then you can be recognized,
or you get lucky and for some reason, which also that's kind of nuts, because like people who make really underground shit, maybe they don't even want to be recognized or don't really care that much.
And see, like I'm battling that with myself a little bit, because it's like I personally am totally fine just making stuff that I love and like having some people that I know who can appreciate it with me.
Yeah.
But I also am like, I would really appreciate it if I was somebody saw this and said, hey, you got some talent, here's some resources.
That's the one good thing about being recognized, I feel like.
Yeah, like...
Because then you can get money and to make stuff that you want to make. But then when it gets to that point, it could be a hindrance, because they might want you to make something you don't want to make.
Well, yeah.
Of course, you have to do what they're telling you.
Yeah, we talked about this briefly because Steven earlier told me, he said that there was a show called Nirvana, the Band, the Show, which is like a comedy show of some kind from Canada.
Oh.
And he said that they had a YouTube channel and that's how they were discovered, but that they didn't really have a big following. And I'm like, where's my fucking angel investor who sees my video, jokes, and decides to be like, hey, you got talent, here's $1 million, make a movie, please. Where's that at?
Not there. It's not meant for you right now.
Well, I think once this podcast becomes extremely successful,
which is probably not,
which it probably will. I'm also on this thing where the more you say that you're successful and that you're great, it just starts happening. You know?
I wouldn't go there, but you can.
This is what Oasis did. Got my Oasis reference in for this episode. They started their career and immediately started saying we're the greatest band in the world, and then they were. So that's what I'm gonna do.
I think that's where we ended we ended it on an Oasis reference in the last one. So why stop now?
We're gonna make sure we get an Oasis ref in every episode.
At least Dan is. I don't know that much about Oasis.
The one day that you do, though, it's gonna be glorious.
No, I probably won't talk about it ever.
Why are you gonna ruin everything?
And that's a wrap. We did 50.
Bye.